This log here actually started out about 17 inches and 30 foot long. I got a lot of good boards off the top, got some off the side. The trouble is around here we have lightning is real bad, and lightning hit pines. Most of the time it'll kill them. A lot of times it won't. And you can see down here on the end, I've cut and I've cut and I've cut, and that lightning scar is still in. And actually, you can cut longer. This is a 32-foot mill, and I can actually cut longer than 32 foot reasonably easy. I square, let's just say, the first 30 feet up, and now you're gonna have to cut your blade out down here, but that's easy. There's nothing to that. Once you get the thing square, you see how long a distance I have here? Once I get it square, I just drag it back. So in other words, all the square will still be sitting on the bunks, and the round, what's left of the round, let's say, just say for instance that last 5 feet, sticks out here and clear, and the bunks don't bother me. So I mean, I can sit there, you know, if I wanted to, reasonably easy on a 32-foot mill, square up a 42 or 40 foot long 8x8. You just have to keep dragging it back. And I could only do 5 foot at a time now without taking this out. If I took this out, I could do more, but I don't want to take that out. But anyway, I cut off. It got so bad down here, I eventually just cut it off. And but you can see how the bad spot still, I mean, it's still in. This thing started out big, and it's rich pine. You can see the pine oozing out there now, and it gets to a point where you just gotta, you know, you just gotta call it a bad trade and just take it for what it's worth. It's an 8x8. I could still use it as a sill, but if I keep cutting through there, you know, I'm gonna lose all that. And it's rich pine anyway, and it's got a lot of knots, you can see. And it's sometimes you're just better off say, hey, you know, I'll need an 8x8 one day. You know, pick it up. It's gonna be heavy. Pick it up and roll the next one on. Just call it a you know, you got the most out of it you could. And to be honest with you, I didn't get that much out of this. I only got maybe 4 boards before I really got to the point now where I say, you know, it's just, this ain't gonna work out. But there's nothing wrong with trying, and there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, it ain't gonna work out. This is where job planning, or I guess more to the point, lack of job planning, comes an issue. Here again, don't have them darn slabs up my way, so I can't get in from this side. I could move those slabs, could saw them up and everything, or haul them to the pond. Those are going to the pond. But it's almost 100 degrees out here. It's 12 o'clock. It is hot. I got this 21-foot 8x8 pine in my way. I couldn't get it from that side because this log was on the deck. Can't get it from this side. Well, I mean, I could have drug it off, but I don't like drag, even a slick log, I don't like dragging it like that, but I could have. Anyway, what I got, this is a 28-foot oak. It's 20 inches on this side. I got to get it on the deck. I don't know what size it is down there, but it's 28 foot long, I know that, and it's 20 inches, I think, here. It's not something that you really want to be moving 3 or 4 times. I could have rolled it off the, well, actually it's 21 or 21 and a half or something. I could have rolled it off the deck and come up here and got this, you know, back and forth, back and forth. I just don't have that in me when it's 100 degrees. What I had to do was roll it on the deck. Then I'm gonna reach over, grab that, pick it up, put it on this side, put this on the deck, and take that, you know, and drag it off someplace. more befitting. But it gets hard when you don't have a lot of. It wouldn't be nothing had this log been, say, 10 foot long, 20 foot long. But when it's 28 foot long and this size and taper, so it's not going to roll, it's not going to roll true. It gets to be tough, and that's where a little bitty, insignificant thing like that can really, turn your day upside down. And once I get this on the deck, heck, my day might be about half over the rate I'm going. But let me see if I can push it on there a little bit more. Once I get it on here, then I can reach and grab this one, put it over the top, and I'll be home free. Or either my tractor be upside down, one of the two. All right, I got her on there. Got the other one off. Got this cleaned up. It's 21 inches on this end. 17. Don't worry about that. That's going to get cut off. It's 17 on the other. If you remember, the largest square I can get in a 17 is diameter divided by 1.4. So I'm going to get 12 inches almost. And really all I need is 12-inch boards. Now that 12 inches will be the maximum square. I still get a lot more right here. It's just that the corners will be a little bit nibbly off. You'll see when I get this thing square. It's 27 foot long, but really all I need is 25 foot 2x12's. That's all I need. 25 foot 2x12's. Nothing but else to do but just take a deep breath and start cutting. See that darn cant hook right there? When it's 95, 100 degrees, that thing gets hot. So anytime it gets about that hot, I always like using the tractor, of course. Now I could just walk up there and turn this thing with no trouble, you know that. But just don't like burning my darn hands. Also notice how I have the log dogs backwards. That's to keep it from rolling back. Just in case it gets away from me. What I have is that chain that I showed you the other day with that one hook. I got it wrapped around and nailed into, bang it into that log. I'm going to try to stand it up here. This way I don't burn my hands. at least two important things. First, don't even think I could have turned that joker by myself. The tractor, it's don't have the weight in the rear end. You might have seen it was getting kind of squirrely and about want to tilt over. So I kind of had to help it. Now, me and the tractor together can turn it, because even while it's sitting still, it's still got a lot of force trying to lift up. So it's kind of helping me more than me helping it, I guess. Second thing is that chain, don't hear it hit, see it hit. Reach down there, grab it, and pull it out. I've hit chains and winch cables probably twice, maybe 3 times in all these years, and I've only hit the bunks for sure twice. So I've hit that chain or a winch cable twice, just as many times, if not no more, really. So, but don't think I could have turned that thing. I was just clowning like I always do. But we got it turned. Just remembered the third thing I was going to say. I drug this log up with that tractor, and all except for just the tail end down there was above the ground. None of it hit the ground. That little dirt there, sand, that's enough to dull a blade. This right here, that wasn't from me dragging it out. That's from right there. I had put some more sand up in here the other day so I could drive up and down easier. So when I rolled it over, it rolled onto that sand. I will wash that off right now. Even that little bit is coming off. Okay, I'm gonna flip him again. Once again, I got it nailed in. Got the both deals turned around backwards. And I think you can see on the tractor there, there's 2 bottles. When it's like this, it's 9500 degrees, and you're out there, and I mean, this is almost straight up 12 o'clock. You need to keep some water. What Priscilla does for me is she takes regular water bottles and she puts that some kind of, I don't know, pink lemonade or some kind of lemonade or something in there, and she freezes them. And I'll bring 2 or 3 out here. They'll last a long time, even in the sun. And you hardly won't see me, if you pay attention to videos, there's gonna be some bottle somewhere like a doggone baby. Half of them are gonna be empty, and I'm gonna be crying like a baby. But you need something. Or at least I do. If you ever hear me say it's time for a cold one, we don't drink like alcohol, beer, or nothing like that. We don't drink, period, except for water and sissy drinks like I just showed you. But that's what I'm talking about, a cold one. And I'm not talking about one when I say one either. Most of the time it's 2. I'll wash all that off too before I get to cutting. The other day I said I don't like having to turn them more than I have to, especially on a big log. Well, sometimes it's just kind of a work in progress. So you kind of, as you're going down that log, especially something this long, you might have to adjust what you were wanting, what you think you're going to get. And this time I might have to adjust it. So I'm probably going to have to roll it one more time than I would like. So instead of 4 times, I'll probably have to roll it 5, but that's okay. The tractor's doing the work. Tractor don't seem to be bothered by that 100 degrees. Hey. What was I said? Can't even talk. What was I said the other day about learning how to spell hydraulics at 31 o'clock? Ain't gonna take me that long today. Let me cut her again. Well, ended up with 13.5 by 13.5, and I wanted to take that top 2 inches off, but that dull is getting too that blade is getting too dull. Shoot, I'm getting too tired, I guess. I'm blaming on the blade anyway, though. I always like squaring up, not round like I call it, the first log tomorrow with today's last blade. Doesn't always work out that way. I mean, like today's last blade's not going to cut but just 4 or 5 cuts maybe. And that was the case with this one. I've been using that same blade all day on that, but I hadn't cut that much now. I cut that big old pine down to 8 by 8 or whatever it was, and a couple other boards, and I cut this down. It's really all I've done with it, but it's getting too dull. So I think it's time for Rifleman. I'm gonna go in there and watch Rifleman bring the mill down here when I get back, change blades. I washed it down real good. The other day, I was talking about the blades and all. I don't remember what we was talking about, but it was something. Tracks, I guess. If you ever washing off your logs and you get to a point where you see a spot like that, or see a spot like that, or see a spot like that, look on your tracks. Raise your saw head up and run it till your blade is right over that. Look on your tracks. It'll be up, you know, the rollers. The roller will be out here, and one will be back there. For something out of a line, like in this right here, it's probably nothing more than that, if you can see it. Well, I'm sure you can see that. See how that's out of a line? If that's out of line, this is out of line. And that's what's doing that right there. Anyway, I'm almost too tired to talk. But if you see marks like that, and there's no knot, no nothing like that, you know, nothing, no reason, look for something to do with your tracks. Most of the time, it'll be something to do with the tracks. I just changed these tracks the other day, and I probably didn't get that tightened down right or something. I don't know. And this end out here is the end that it's work in progress anyway, or it's a repair in progress. So I wouldn't worry about it too much anyway. But all I needed was 6 2x10's, 25 foot long. It's 27 foot long log. So I'll have plenty. I'll be able to cut my 10 out, and I'll still have 13 or something. I'll have almost a 2x4, 13 and a half. I'll have something there. But once I get that blade on there, I'm not going to rotate this thing no more. Actually, I'm tired of that. I'm just going to go zoom, 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 zoom. With a brand new blade, I'll use a 7 with a brand new blade. I mean, it won't take no time to go through there. And to be honest with you, that blade right there, I mean, I was watching it as I was coming back. I use that thing all day. I mean, it's not wavy one bit, which surprised me. A lot of times, you know, once you start getting them dull, there'll be a wave a little bit, but there's just not enough knots in this, I guess, so it stays smooth. But anyway, let me go get my cold one and see what Lucas McCain has to say for today. Okay, I put the new blade on and set the guide blocks. Just takes an Allen screw. I have to use a screwdriver on one of mine because one of mine stripped out and I had to retap it. That little guide block, I had to retap it so I could just put a regular screw in there. But other than that, it just uses Allen. I always like at least testing them, pushing on it, up, down, back on the blade every time I put on a new blade. You're only talking a couple times a day, so it's not that big a deal. One thing that is a big deal is, I don't know what, I guess I sweat my eye or something. It's actually 14 by 13 and a half. So I'm for sure, I know now that I'm for sure just going to slice through here 2 inches down all the way. And I'll stand them all up and I'll cut them off, because all I really need is 2x10's. And the rest will just be 2x4's or whatever is there. And it shouldn't take very long. It shouldn't take very, you know, I put on a new blade, it shouldn't take just a minute. Okay, I got 4 2x14's and 1 3x14. And this 2x14 down here, ground, I'll have to trim it up. I'll end up with a 2x8 out of it. And that bottom one, I have to trim that up a bunch. Well, I'm gonna trim them all up. Trim the tops off every one, but the bottom one there, which will be on this side, it won't make much because I'll have to trim it off top and bottom. But let me see if I can get them turned. I got them all strapped together, and they should turn. I'm gonna back up a little. If you back up away from those backrests, it helps. It gets, like I was saying the other day, when you turn a log, you're doing 2 jobs at one time. This will kind of help it out, and it'll be doing just 1 job at a time. you can better see that 3-inch board and why I said I was going to have to cut a lot off. I'll take 2 inches off of all them. That'll get them down to 12, and which is what I want, 12 or 14. And didn't want that. Aggravate my nerve. I might just leave it sit there. Ah. Yeah. I was actually kind of worried that I wouldn't be able to get them good and tight. But it went back pretty good anyway. You can see on this here, you really don't have it. You got a pretty good bit down there, but down here, you don't have much. Hardly worth messing with, except on that end. And I don't know what I'm gonna do. And that's the end of it. Those 2 little 2x12's there. I mean, that's heartwood too. The other one, this one here, is 50-50, and that outside one I just throw it away. It's nothing but firewood. I ended up with 4 heartwood 2x12's. I only wanted 2x10's, but I'll have to study on it. I might, rather than go back through there and recut them. And a 3x12, that last one, because it was 13 inches. And I had to cut off 2 because it was 14 by 13 and a half or something like that. But anyway, I only needed 4, and I got 4, so I'm happy with it. I ain't gonna mess with it tonight. I might open the log dogs up so it can breathe, but I ain't gonna stack it or nothing tonight. It's too late. It's funny how middle of the day when it's 100 darn degrees, I'm out here working now, sun goes down and it temperature starts getting lower, and I'm ready to go to the house. Well, I'm at the house, but I'm ready to quit. One thing I need to do is put my electric fence back up. I gotta do something with all that mess too. That's tomorrow's job.